Hey guys, so you ready for it? Today's August 7, 2020, almost 8 a.m. Central Time. So, side note, I'm going to do a video 2 of my Biden series, and it's going to be on gun control. Because this is creeped up, right? The other day he tweeted something about gun control, and then this happened yesterday. So we might as well just go down that road. And my voice has sucked, otherwise I would have done it sooner. Here's the deal with the NRA lawsuit, okay? Not sure too many people have thought this through in general, okay? A lot of you have emailed me very concerned yesterday about whether this would go through, what would happen, whatever, and whatnot, okay? And I think that's awesome that you guys do that because I'm not on YouTube very often anymore. So I find that flattering. So think this through for a moment because she wants to dissolve it, right? We'll go into that in a second. But the first portion is absolutely doable in court, okay? That's been done to many nonprofits, including Planned Parenthood, okay? Saying that the leadership has misused funds, okay? Very easy to pretty much win in court, if proven. And it sounds as though they've been investigating the leadership of the NRA for like a year or whatnot. And so that's possible that could go through. Now, as far as, and honestly, okay, whatever. But the problem with this lawsuit are a couple things that you should be concerned about. Is, first of all, the NRA is registered in the worst city in the country to be registered, which is DC. How that happened, I have no idea. Which causes jurisdiction for this chick to do this. And to have more power into dissolving it. So that's a whole other deal. Do I think it'll get dissolved? No, I definitely don't. But say it happens, okay? Think this through. First of all, she's not fighting on behalf of NRA members or anyone of that nature. So all the money that the NRA has, contributions from NRA members that are sitting there, and assets and all that stuff, literally because it's registered in DC, they have that jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah. They can take all of that cash, all of those assets, and acquire them and take it away and use it for whatever they want. They can literally take that money and put it to Planned Parenthood, put it to this movement that's going on defunding the police. They can do anything they want with that, okay? So, countersuits beyond the NRA will severely happen very, very, very quickly if that were to happen, if they get dissolved, right? Which would put everything on hold. So keep that in mind. So you got to think this through. So the NRA members should be very concerned about their cash, okay, if this were to happen. Does it mean stop contributing to the NRA? I'm not saying that. Of course I'm not saying that. But I am saying if you have contributed and the money's sitting there, your money could go towards any liberal cause they want. So that's saying that, okay? The next thing is there are millions, I'm assuming millions, of new gun owners in this country. Guns of all kinds. Assault weapons, semi-automatics, okay, rifles, pistols, shotguns, all these things. Ammo's hard to get a hold of. FFLs are short on everything. It's very difficult to find certain firearms, right? There are many new gun owners because of what's happening around this country. They've specifically learned the police is not necessarily going to be protecting them. And they're frightened, okay? That's a whole other situation that I could get into very easily in a different video. So those people should be very concerned. Not because they're part of the NRA or anything, but regarding gun rights. The NRA is the largest lobbying for gun rights in Congress. Period. Without the NRA, it would be severely different in Congress. Even the people that come from pro-gun states, red states, conservative states, even people who are moderates would be more difficult for them to vote against gun control. And I know that sounds ridiculous because they come from a pro-gun state, like Texas or something, or Arizona, which is changing a little bit. And the reason for that is because of lobbying. They're ridiculous. Congress is all about cash. So every new gun owner needs to understand if the NRA were to get dissolved, that's going to affect Congress. It's going to affect federal law, which means it could be the end of certain people's gun rights very, very easily. So people who are not part of the NRA should be very concerned. Now, am I saying it's the end of gun rights? No. There are other organizations out there that lobby Congress, but the NRA is very, very powerful, and everybody knows it. So the likelihood of them being dissolved, though, I think is very slim, because there's no plaintiff that is suing anything on behalf of the NRA. Members are not suing NRA for, anything. Nothing. It's just an attorney general of New York City. They could do it. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but the likelihood of it happening, even before judges that are active as judges, I don't think it's going to happen. Now, prosecuting the leadership, absolutely that could happen. Have they misused funds? Absolutely, I'm sure they have. Every nonprofit leadership does shit they're not supposed to. Period. End of story. So this is more complex than people have thought into. And I haven't even read the lawsuit. To be honest with you, I didn't even watch this chick's I did watch some of it, entire press conference because it was ridiculous, and I knew what the repercussions would come from this anyway, with them taking the funds to New York State and them doing whatever they want with it, screwing every NRA member who's ever donated to the NRA and their money sitting there. The fact there's a bunch of new people, including liberals, that now have guns, and they should be concerned because their gun rights could be affected, and Congress could easily be affected, so you need to be considering that. So there's different aspects that if this were to happen, it would affect. So a lot of people, if it were to happen to get to the point of getting dissolved, I think these people, liberals, and I've said this on Twitter and other places, have been poking the bear, including myself, quite a bit the last couple years, but have seriously started to poke the bear much more and much harder in the last, we'll say, 8 months. And they're pissing these bears off. And they're going to see what we are capable of. Because these dumbasses in the street that have, frozen bottles that they're throwing at the cops, they're throwing fire, they're setting off fireworks, and they have chainsaws, like all this stuff. Please, okay? I am so warped because of my military experience and everything else, and just creatively, that, trust me, Antifa will look like babies in the fucking streets if something ugly were to happen. Not necessarily just to the NRA, but to the point of severe gun rights. Trust me, They have poked the bear too long. If they consider to continuously do this in every aspect of our lives, which they are, First Amendment, censorship, this video won't get around, guaranteed. I am fucking shadow banned to death on every platform, period. They shut my channel down, period. Like, come on. And I'm a mini little person. I didn't have 100,000 or more or millions of subscribers. I had 11,000 subscribers. Like, if they can do it to me, they do it to Jim Jordan, people of Congress on Twitter. They just banned, I don't know if it's a nonprofit, but some pack of Trumps for 90 days off of Facebook for something that they posted saying it was misinformation for coronavirus. 90 days, people. That's a big deal. When is the election? I think it's 89 days or 88 days from now. Okay? That's a big deal. They didn't just ban them for 30 days. They did it for 90 days, so they can't do anything on behalf of Trump for this entire election. Okay? These people are going so far out of their way in an attempt to silence the bears that the bears are going to fight back in an ugly way if it were to come to the streets. Otherwise, the silent voters and the bears are going to walk their asses into the polls and re-elect Trump, and you're going to see these people flip out, and it will be hysterical. The likelihood of Trump getting re-elected at this point, because of all this destruction that is happening, is pretty high. Pretty high, in my opinion, just because of that. Not because of his policies, what he's gotten done. I did a quick video on that. Things he's achieved and all that stuff. Almost is not even... It's a big deal, of course. It's a big deal, his platform and what he's gotten accomplished and who he is and all that stuff. And you may not appreciate his style, but you cannot, by any means, dismiss what he's been able to do. By any means. So, besides all that, they are pissing people off to turn them to go to Trump by doing certain things. And the more they do this NRA lawsuit has frightened people. And it should frighten every liberal pansy that has recently owned a firearm, because your rights are going to be affected. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.